Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, we've got news out of New Bern where tonight there's going to be a Board of Aldermen meeting where they're going to consider an electric rate hike. Now, a public hearing on the electric rates is listed on the agenda for tonight's meeting at 6 p.m. at City Hall. Now, the possible hike for residents comes after the city of New Bern's rate was raised by 4.5%. City officials say New Bern's wholesale power supplier, the North Carolina Eastern Municipal Power Agency, in partnership with Duke Energy, is the one driving up the rates. Now, the aldermen will decide whether the cost will fall on the residents and by how much. Tonight's agenda packet shows that the board will consider approving a recommended overall 2% increase for customers, including a possible average increase of 0.9% for its residential customers. Now, the public is invited to weigh in on the proposal. If the hike is approved, tonight's materials say the new rate will be effective by April 1st. And now we want to again turn our attention to the Middle East and the latest on Iranian strikes. NBC's Matt Bradley has more from Tel Aviv.
Yeah, we're now in day 11 of this conflict between Israel and the United States on one side and Iran on the other. And so far, we've heard from Defense or War Secretary Pete Hegseth saying in a live address that this could be the most blistering day yet. It sounds as though the United States has no plans to relax their attacks on the Iranians. But this comes a day after President Trump said that all of this could wrap up soon. Well, this isn't the first time that we've heard mixed messages from the same administration executing the same war. Whether or not the Americans do decide to relax their attacks against the Iranians, the Israelis have said, and we heard this from Benjamin Netanyahu, that they will continue their attacks against Iran regardless of what the United States does, whether or not they do decide to lighten the load and lighten their attacks on Iran. Meanwhile, Israel is continuing to execute its offensive in the northern border over in Lebanon, where Hezbollah has been firing back into Israel. We got one report of an incoming projectile from Lebanon just yesterday. That conflict is causing chaos and hardship in Lebanon, with about 500,000 people displaced. Hundreds more have been killed. This looks like the Israelis are going to continue to take Hezbollah to task. Many people we've spoken to say they're hoping that this could finish Hezbollah once and for all. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
Well, thank you, Matt, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast, and air temperatures are soaring, getting up there already into the mid-60s. Going to be looking at the low 80s coming up this afternoon. Southerly wind at 3 miles an hour. Again, going to be picking up a little bit more speed as we head through the tail end of the day. Tomorrow, winds are going to be even stronger. And so far, visibilities continue to improve. Air temperatures right now starting to see some areas pop up into the 70s. You've got 71 degrees in Elizabeth City, 70 in Ahoskie, Stumpy Point, and Kenansville, 72 in Goldsboro. Right now, the hottest spot on the map, Kinston, coming in at 73 degrees. But overall, everybody is going to be warming up today. Some just a little bit faster than others, but everyone is going to see the sunshine along with a southwesterly breeze that currently blows in at a fairly weak 3 to 6 miles per hour. Normal for the afternoons. Generally, we see around 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, but we will again get back into low 80s over the tail end of today. 80 degrees by 6 turns to 76 by 7, 70 degrees by 9, 67 by 11. That will put us down in the low 60s coming up for tomorrow morning. And tomorrow is going to be the hottest day of the week and hottest day of the year thus far. 69 degrees at 10 turns to 77 by noon. And then we're into the mid-80s as we head towards 2, 3, and 4 p.m. By 5, still hanging on to around 87 degrees. It is going to be hot and toasty, but know your winds. Wind speed 6 to 12 miles per hour through tomorrow, and it's all coming out of the southwest. It's only going to warm us up. So let's take you through exactly what we're going to be tracking over the southeastern United States. A few areas of low pressure will kind of come and go, but it's that one further back towards the west that has the staying power that will bring us some rain to the east. some rain and some cooler air as well. That whole system, again, going to be moving into eastern North Carolina coming up on Thursday. Zooming the picture out a little bit further, you can see that front organizing and then slowly trying to work its way into eastern North Carolina. Now, the mountains are going to do a very good job of spreading out the moisture along that front. And the more spread out it becomes, the less likely we are to see any sort of severe storms. Now, I don't want to say it's an impossibility, but right now, looking at how we've got almost 3 waves of rain. One you're seeing off the coast, another one kind of right along the Highway 17 corridor, and then another one further back towards I-95. That separation is really going to limit storm strength. Now, could we still see some strong to maybe a severe storm out of this? It's a possibility, but the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer as we get closer and closer to Thursday. Now, there you see some snowflakes as everything exits on Thursday. I do want you to note that while snowflakes may try to come down out of the atmosphere, getting anything to stick, well, it's going to be a difficult ask because air temperatures are likely going to end up in, I would say, certainly above freezing by the time we get to your Thursday evening. We're likely looking at air temperatures at least in the 50s, maybe some areas in the upper 40s, but still way too warm to get anything to actually stick on the ground. Now 36 degrees overnight Thursday night into Friday is one we want to draw your attention to because, again, some inland areas may end up with a little bit of some frost, and then we'll warm up as we head through the weekend. 71 degrees on Saturday, 77 on Sunday, and then another front arrives on Monday. That front will come with some rain showers and a better opportunity for some storms. Colder air will follow. 72 degrees on Monday, turns to 48 on Tuesday, and overnight lows Tuesday night of next week and into Wednesday likely down in the low 30s. So we may end up getting one more freeze by the time we get into the start of next week. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.